Dodgers drop game one to the Toronto Blue Jays. They get embarrassed by a very aggressive and efficient and contact-oriented Blue Jays offense. Blake Snell just did not have it, was not sharp. The Dodgers offense left too many opportunities on the plate. Andy Paz struggled. Shohei Ohtani gets his first World Series home run. But the Dodgers need to do something very different in game two, because we know now the Blue Jays are dangerous.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball. Right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by dodgersnation.com. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. I'm a credentialed member of the media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Thanks for joining us after the Dodgers get flat out embarrassed in game one. Blake Snell, the Dodgers ace this postseason. He had been pretty much untouchable all postseason. He struggles in this one, just did not have that fastball command early. His line ends up with 5 earned runs on 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 100 pitches, 62 for strikes, and Dalton Varsho hits a 2-run shot off of Blake Snell in this one. And that home run that Dalton Varsho hit off Blake Snell in the 4th inning, first pitch, fastball, middle, that was the first home run that a lefty has hit off of Blake Snell since 2024. That was the first lefty to hit a home run off of Blake Snell all season. The last guy to hit a bomb off of Blake Snell from that side of the plate was Juan Soto, who did on June 2nd, 2024. Blake Snell wasn't sharp enough, still competed, still took this game into the latter stages in a tight one where he wasn't getting a ton of run support from the Dodgers offense at all. They did give him an early 2-0 lead. They left a bunch of runs and possible scoring opportunities on the plate. But tonight, we saw what makes this Toronto Blue Jays team so dangerous. And if you've been watching this show this whole week, I hope that there was nothing you saw in this game that surprised you, because I've told you all week, this Blue Jays team is dangerous. They make contact. They make hard contact. They slug with the best of them. It is not the Toronto Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s. They are a very deep and talented lineup, and every Dodger fan that thought this was going to be some easy series just because you had all the betting lines and everyone giving the Dodgers a 68-70% chance to win this series, I told you this was going to be a challenging series. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Series is not over. The last time we saw the winner of game one go on to lose that series was not too long ago. The 2022 Phillies lost to the Astros. The Astros would go on to come back in and win that series. So all is not lost in this series, but this is what we feared. What we feared tonight was that this Dodgers offense, which has not shown up for most of this postseason, was going to do it again tonight. And we saw tonight, I think that this game was lost by the Dodgers, not with that explosive 9-run on 6-hit inning in the 6th inning, where you just had a Blue Jays offense just go out there and nuke Emmet Sheehan, who has an ERA at almost 10 this postseason. He has not pitched well. Then Anthony Banda gives up a home run to Barger, the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. And then Kirk hits a 2-run shot. It's 11-2 game after that, and that was all she wrote. So, yes, it was an explosive inning in the 6th, but I think this game was lost early in the 2nd and 3rd inning of this one, when the Dodgers had opportunities to give Blake Snell a bigger cushion, considering he wasn't sharp, didn't have his best command in this one early. The 2nd inning, the Dodgers should have scored more runs. Will Smith drew a leadoff walk. Teoscar Hernandez grew into a fielder's choice. He grounded into that. And then Max Muncy singles. And then Kike Hernandez does what he always does. Mr. Keektober delivers, gives the Dodgers their first run of the 2025 World Series with a single to center that scored Teoscar to make it a 1-0 game early. And then Tommy Edman, he reaches on a swinging bunt to third. That loads the bases with 1 out. And then all of a sudden, Andy Pages chases early, fouls one off, takes a strike, and then on the 6th pitch of the at-bat on a 3-2 count, he swings at a slider down and out of the zone that would have been ball 4, that would have made it a 2-0 game, that would have set up Shohei Ohtani at the plate with the bases loaded and 1 out. And even though Shohei Ohtani grounded to first the very next at-bat, that ground out would have led to another run, so it should have been a 3-0 game for the Dodgers. But they have to do something about Andy Pages. Let's call it what it is. Andy Pages has been atrocious this postseason at the plate. He's been awful this postseason at the plate. Heading into this game, Andy Pages was 3 for 35 at the plate in October, and it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse for Andy Pages. He's 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position in the postseason, and tonight, a strikeout. Had an okay at bat later in this one, but Andy Pages, he ends up going 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in this one. So that was a missed opportunity in that inning. The Dodgers offense, I think, has gotten too reliant on dominant starting pitching. The starters have done too much of the group project. Don't think you can show up and just get an A offense because of how good the starting rotation has been. Don't think you can show up and ace the midterm and the final and get into the college of your dreams just because the starters have been carrying the load. The offense needs to step up. They've been atrocious for the most part this postseason. Heading into today, they were averaging 3.5 runs per game in the NLDS and the NLCS, hitting less than 200 with runners in scoring position in the NLCS, hitting 211 with runners in scoring position heading into this game for the postseason in total. And today they go 3 for 7 with risk, but it was the missed opportunities against a pitcher, Savage, that is making his 7th start. And yes, it is very interesting, his delivery. It's 63 degrees, right over the top. That release point is going to take some adjusting to, but the Mariners found a way to make it work. And this is a better offense than the Mariners. And then there was the top of the 3rd inning. Mookie Betts draws a leadoff walk off of Savage. And Savage, he lost his best pitch, and the Dodgers couldn't capitalize. In that third inning, Savage threw 3 splitters. That was it. Betts draws a leadoff walk. Freddie walks. You get back-to-back walks there from your number 2 and number 3 hitters at the top of the 3rd inning. And then Will Smith, 3-2 count. He singled to right. That scored Mookie Betts. And then Freddie Freeman, he gets thrown out in between 2nd and 3rd. Going back to 3rd, he gets thrown out. And then Teoscar Hernandez grounds out to 2nd. Then Muncy strikes out swinging. So that was 2 innings where you did score runs, but it should have been more runs. And then you look at the rest of this game. What did we say about this Toronto Blue Jays offense? They hit for contact and they don't strike out. Regular season, they were elite. They only struck out 17+% of the time. And then in the postseason, that number has dropped to 14%. What did we see tonight? The Dodgers pitchers were not good enough in the zone to beat these Blue Jays hitters. Tonight, the Blue Jays out-hit the Dodgers 14-6. 14-6, and they struck out 4 times. The Dodgers, on the other hand, 13 strikeouts and just 6 hits. 2 strikeouts for Shohei, 2 strikeouts for Betts, 1 for Teo, 2 for Muncy, 3 for Kike, 1 for Tommy Edman, and 2 for Andy Paez. Andy Paez now hitting .077. I think you have to consider something for Andy Paez because he's essentially been an automatic out this postseason. But welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live, the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Welcome to this after show. We're going to break it down. We're going to hear from Dave Roberts and Blake Snell. We're going to hear from the rest of the Dodgers that are getting media availability. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Got some super chats. Producer Tony Taters Antonio is giving me the super chats. $4.99 from Optimal. Also, he's giving me the other comments of the show. We'll nominate. $4.99 from Optimal says, built a super team just to have a horrible offense and bullpen. This series is over, dude. Okay, first of all, calm down. This series is not over. Last time I checked, the team with home field advantage won game 1. They did what they were supposed to do. The Dodgers still have an opportunity tomorrow with a dominant right-handed pitcher on the mound, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, with the chance to get the split and take things to Los Angeles where you regroup and you make some adjustments towards this offense. But Dodgers pitchers have to be better. The offense has to be better. But it is just one game in a 7-game series. Let's not overreact and say this series is over. The Dodgers still heavy favorites in this series, and the Dodgers still are going to have a good chance to make this an interesting series where they should still win this series. But I hope that all the Dodgers fans sweep. What was that based on? Were you watching the American League? What was that based on? This team is superior to the Brewers. Don't let the regular season record fool you. We've got Blue Jays being Blue Jays. He only struck out 4 times. Dodgers 13 Ks. The bat to the ball approach. Credit to David Hopkins. A just one game, but a statement game all the same. Yeah, I mean, exactly. They executed their game plan to perfection. And early on, Blake Snell was grinding. He really was. I mean, this game could have been a lot worse. Bottom of the first inning, Blake Snell threw 29 pitches. His previous high was 24 that he threw in game 1 of the NLDS against the Phillies. But they had the bases loaded on Blake Snell early, and he got Varsho to fly to center to get out of that inning. But part of that damage was done. And Snell settled down, was grinding, and then he gives up that 2-run shot to Varsho in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that just, go look at that pitch. It's a first pitch fastball. Did not have the feel for that heater. Was missing high arm side, top of the zone. Was missing down the changeup, which was supposed to be his best pitch, especially against right-handed batters. That's how we saw him neutralize the Brewers lineup with that pitch, manipulating speeds. Well, tonight, look, Blake Snell just simply was not sharp, and he'll be the first guy to say that. I'm confident that that will be the case. And in this one, Snell, his overall pitch mix, he threw more fastball than changeup. Last time we saw him out there, he was throwing more changeup than fastball, and that's because that changeup, he just wasn't as confident in it. And the fastball, command, curveball, slider. I mean, this is a very disciplined Blue Jays offense, and this offense is not going to expand the zone and chase those changeups out of the zone. They know the game plan, especially the right-handed hitters in this one. They knew what to do when they were at the plate. They had a great game plan. They were looking for something. They clearly found something with him, and that was evident all throughout this game. Even the bottom of the first inning, Guerrero, curveball down the zone, spit on it, not going to chase. Kirk, couple batters later, 9-pitch at bat. He was just really struggling to put guys away. He could not finish guys off. Guys were fouling balls off him. The Kirk at bat there in the bottom of the first inning, 3 straight foul balls, and then he goes that curveball down the zone. They're not going to chase. Blake Snell has to find a way to beat these guys in the zone because they're too disciplined, and they're going to find a way to put the bat on the baseball. And to their credit, this is one of those losses where the Dodgers got outplayed by a team that did a better job at executing their game plan. And they're in the World Series for a reason. This is not a fluke. This whole Dodgers are going to sweep. I try to warn you not to think that, because this is going to be a series. Even if they won the next 4 games, it's going to be competitive. This team is not going to bow down and just get out of here. And that's why I told you the key to the series was the Dodgers offense needed to step up and not be this offense that just relied on the starting pitching greatness. And tonight, they missed the mark. I mean, really, you scored 2 runs because the Shohei Ohtani home run, the Dodgers were down 11-2 in the 7th inning, and Shohei Ohtani on a 1-2 count, he gets a curveball down and in, and he hits one over the wall on Fisher to make it an 11-4 game. And yes, if you're looking for a silver lining, something to feel good about it, it is the fact that Shohei Ohtani has now homered in 2 consecutive games. But I would have much rather have liked to see that home run, Shohei, when the bases were loaded in the 2nd inning. That was a classic Chris Paul hits a 3 to cut the Warriors' lead to 42 type of home run. The offense needs to be better. And Savage, you got to do better against him, especially when he didn't have that splitter in this one. All right, let's go to some comments here. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live here on a Friday night on a World Series game. And this is now the first time we've suffered a loss on the road in the postseason. Here we go. Why is Roberts not playing Kim? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Correct, DMAC, protect home field. Remember 1981. All right, you guys are flying in here. Snake was off from the go. Yeah, you think you're talking about Snell, but let's read some more super chats here. Tons of super chats rolling in here for Dodgers Dugout Live. Go to gearup.la, by the way, for the best Dodgers t-shirts in the game. What's up, Dodgers Nation TV? Lauren Daly. We've got Roberts. Tomorrow is not going to be easier. I think tomorrow the good thing is you got a right-handed pitcher going up against a team with a lot of dominant right-handed bats. So we got the Sandwich 101-499. If Pages keeps being easy out, could we see Kim and Rojas at bats? There is a world where you could possibly see that. You could always move Kike Hernandez to center field and give Alex Call an opportunity. You could put Hesung Kim at second. He's a left-handed hitter going up against a right-handed heavy rotation. And then if Tommy Edman's ankle is good enough, maybe you could consider him in center field. That's a possible option. But I am absolutely all in on the, hey, Pages' defense isn't game-changing enough in center field because it isn't. His defense is game-changing in one of the corner outfield spots and right field with his arm. It's not in center field, and the bat has been non-existent. I mean, why is he even bringing a bat to the plate at this point? Because he has been awful at the plate offensively. A .77 batting average. He's looked bad. He has just looked overmatched, bad at bats. He should have drawn a walk with the bases loaded there in the 2nd inning to give the Dodgers another run. But here we go. We got, keep filing in, guys. Welcome. Let it all out. We'll get through this together. And we will hear from some post-game sound. I believe we've got Dave Roberts already has spoken to the media, so we'll hear from Doc, and we'll take all of your questions. We've got the Sandwich. Appreciate Jason Alamilo. Crap offense. Ish bullpen equals Blue Jays are better. Sack side, $2. We are in trouble. Kevin, $10 super chat. Stavi, $4.99. What the hell was that? All I'm going to say is they better lock the hell in for the next 4 games. That was an embarrassment. For the next 4 games, yeah. I mean, now it's the Dodgers are just going to take the next 4. Let's show a little more. Okay, let's show a little more baseball acumen than just acting like the Blue Jays are going to roll over. I heard takes out there, the Blue Jays were just happy to be here. The Blue Jays already were so spent because of a 7-game series, all the emotions. You kidding me? It's the World Series, man. Don't embarrass yourself, okay? It's the World Series. Guys are playing for a lifelong dream. And that's what the Blue Jays are playing for, okay? Kevin, 100% agree behind your comments on Pages, but why is Dodgers Nation sending tweets to buy his shirts, labeling him a dog during the game? Come on now. That's an automated system that does that. I have no control over that, so I have zero clue. I just do the shows. Optimal 499 built a super team just to have a horrible offense and bullpen. This series is over. Oh, come on. Look, you know what? I'm banking this one when the Dodgers come back in this series and win the World Series. We've got Lunascope, Justin. Can Tommy Edman play center yet? 499. Dave said that early he was going to play second base, but essentially your lineup is you're basically an automatic out with Andy Paz at this point. And yes, he did a home run off of Bobby Miller. I saw with my own eyes during one of the practice sessions, and maybe you feel better about getting his confidence up. But no, he has to do it in a game. We have Manuel Gonzalez. I think Kim needs to play in must-win game 2. Victor Baños. I mean, Kim hasn't taken that bat in a long time. If we're to the point where Ha-Seong Kim is the savior for this offense, well, then you're really in trouble. Who really needs to step up is the top of the Dodgers offense. Those are the guys that you need to be talking about in the comments. Not as much Andy Pages. You need to be talking Shohei Ohtani needs to do better earlier. Mookie Betts, he goes 1 for 4. Freddie Freeman, I thought Freddie was going to have a bigger game, 0 for 3. And you need to see more slug. You really need to see more slug. Outside of the just cosmetic home run for Shohei Ohtani that was irrelevant in the grand scheme of the game, the Dodgers didn't have an extra base hit when it mattered. You didn't get doubles. You didn't get triples. You didn't get home runs. And this team got severely outslugged. Varsho hit a bomb. Kirk hit a bomb. Barger hit a bomb. And you end up getting 14 hits. So it was a combination of death by paper cuts and slug, and they made the most of their opportunities too. Just 5 opportunities of runners in scoring position, but the Blue Jays go 3 for 5 in those opportunities. It's time to panic. Oh, wow. Dodgers Nation is down bad. We've got... who said, D-Mac, stop being naive? Snell going to be a game 1 starter? When the hell did I say that Blake Snell can't be a game 1 starter? Did I miss something? Is there a separate show that has an AI version of myself that is saying that? I never did. I actually thought that Blake Snell competed and gave this team a chance to win despite not having his best stuff. I think that if you were going to list out the main reason why this Dodgers team lost this game, it was an offense that continues to struggle despite being loaded with talent. That's the number one reason why this team lost this game. Yes, Blake Snell wasn't at his best. Yes, he gave the 2-run shot to Varsho. Yes, he allowed base runners late in this one where he was out there and clearly he was exhausted. Clearly they need to... I see people always say, up all night playing COD. No, the dude was focused and ready to go, but he just did not have it. The bottom of the 6th inning, a leadoff walk to Bichette. He was down 3-0 in the count, and it was very evident during that at-bat that changeup that was so effective for him throughout this entire postseason, he just could not get the chase on it. They were spitting on it, and he couldn't land it in the zone for strikes. He also wasn't manipulating the velocity on it as much. We're saying a 3-mile-per-hour velocity change on the changeup, but it wasn't as drastic. And then Kirk singled off him, slider, middle. I mean, he was just missing out over the plate all night long. And then he hit Varsho on a at-bat, another at-bat where there was tons of foul balls off him, falls behind the count. I mean, it's almost a miracle that he kind of made it as far as he did. And then Emmet Sheehan came in, and we got to talk about that. One of the big questions entering this postseason was, could they get something from Emmet Sheehan, who Dave Roberts said that was his pick to click, and he had his role in the bullpen where he showed some signs, and he was a starter this year. He has that explosive fastball, but Emmet Sheehan has not been good out of the Dodgers bullpen, and he was supposed to be one of the reasons why the bullpen was going to be fixed, but it wasn't Emmet Sheehan. It's been Roki Sasaki and a better version of Blake Trinan. But Emmet Sheehan comes in, very first batter he faces, Clement singled to center, IKF scored. That made it a 3-2 game. The Blue Jays take the lead. It was a 2-2 game entering the 6th inning. So I actually give Blake Snell some credit. I mean, it makes you wonder, should he even have been out there in this 6th inning just because of how that stuff was playing? He looked exhausted. He looked tired. He always looks tired, but he was really looking tired there in that 6th inning. And yes, the Dodgers don't have a deep bullpen, especially now Alex Vesia not on this roster. He's a guy who's been the first guy to the pen during certain games when they're tight. Well, Emmet Sheehan comes in, gives it that single. Blue Jays immediately take the lead. Then Luke's hits for Straw. And then another example of Dodgers pitchers not finishing off hitters. They just did not have that money pitch in them where they could get that swing and miss. Just 4 strikeouts, 4 punch outs for this Dodgers pitching group in this one. And a 9-pitch at bat to Luke's. He goes up 0-2 in the count and then loses him on the 9th pitch. Was absolutely pulling that fastball glove side. And then Jimenez, he singled to right. Another example of 0-2 in the count, then give up a hit. That made it a 5-2 game. And then Barger hits for Schneider. Dave Roberts brings in Anthony Banda, and then Banda falls behind the count 2-1, and then he leaves the slider up, a front door slider, not the worst pitch, but he just left it up and in that hitter zone, and you got to give Barger some credit. He went with it, 413 feet. First pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. Guerrero, next batter, first pitch, single. This offense is relentless. I mean, this offense is really relentless. They choke you into submission. They really do. I mean, give them. I was impressed. I really was. And then Kirk falls behind the count, leaves that fastball a little up, and then Alejandro Kirk, he crushed a bomb to 11-2 game, and that was it. The game was over. Nothing else to talk about after that. Will Klein came in, and he did an okay job, but it's meaningless because we have to see him in a high leverage moment. Same thing for Justin Robleski. Okay, let's do some more chats. Delirium, what's up? I really believe Snell is on the verge of greatness. We have reverted to regular Snell. Let's do Blake didn't have it tonight. Couldn't get the first pitch for a strike. Too many 3-2 counts. Yeah, I mean, too many 3-2 counts. Too many foul balls. I mean, dude, in that first inning alone, you had 3 3-ball counts. I mean, that first inning, you knew that there was something that was really wrong. And what really hurt, too, is most of that came with 2 outs. I mean, he had 2 outs, and then he had the 3-2 count to Guerrero that led to the walk. Bichette, he loses him right away. It's 3-0. Then he singled to right, a little cue shot. Freddie has to play the bag because Freeman's at first and Guerrero's at first, so he's got to play that bag. And he's able to get that single. And then Kirk, he walks him. And then even Varsho, he kind of got it around, missed a pitch. And Varsho proved that he was going to come back and get a big moment later in this one. But let's hear from Dave Roberts, and we're going to hear from all you guys. I'm going to read at least 30 to 40 comments tonight. As you can see, I'm fired up because I just really want to know why. Yes, there's a layoff. Yes, there's this and that. But if I told you heading into this postseason that it would be the Dodgers offense that would be the issue, you would say, oh, I've taken a time machine back to 2019 and 2018, the World Series. I mean, it feels like a Dodgers team from yesteryear, pre-Shohei Ohtani. But the walks are no good. Snell put them down. No more Anthony Banda. Falcon, we've got Jay Marbardia. We've got relax, everyone. It's game 1. It's game 1. It sure is. There's no doubt about it. It is game 1. Having said that, though, let's not act like it's nothing. Let's not act like it doesn't mean anything to not win game 1. The truth of the matter is there is a massive importance in winning game 1. You definitely want to win game 1 in a series. I mean, the Dodgers in their postseason history heading into tonight were 17-7 in game 1s under Dave Roberts. And in World Series history, the World Series winner of game 1, they've won the World Series 77 out of 120 times. That's a 64.2% clip. But if you go to more recent history, the winner of game 1 has won 18 of the last 22 World Series titles. So it's just game 1 crowd, game 1 is extremely important. The numbers prove that. Do I think this Dodgers team can come back and win this series? I do. Am I still confident they will? I am. Tonight, though, the fashion in which they lost this game the fact that they blew the brakes off you, that definitely hurts. I think if I'm looking at some more Mitch Lotta half-full takes, we got the Shohei Ohtani home run for the second consecutive game. Also, it's not that common to get blown out 11-4, and you still see six pitchers the Dodgers saw. Savage, Fluharty, Dominguez gets the win, Fisher, Bassett, and Lauer. So you still were able to see six pitchers. That was a positive. You saw more guys. You didn't use a Blake Snell or a Roki Sasaki, and that definitely is a positive for sure. But let's hear from Dave Roberts, who is speaking to the media live in Toronto following the Dodgers' 11-4 Game 1 loss in the 2025 World Series.
The Brewers, I just thought tonight Blake just didn't have good fastball command. He was working deeper counts. When he had count leverage, you really couldn't put him away because they were putting the ball in play. And, there were just a couple bad walks in there. But you got to give those guys credit. They certainly fought.
Second row, your left, Doc. Jack.
Just kind of what did you see go wrong in the sixth inning, both with Blake and then the guys out of the pen?
It's just, Bichette's a tough guy to walk. You walk him, then Kirk does what he does, shoots the hole, and then, you walk Varsho. And, right there, that was going to be his last hitter, Varsho, but obviously he put Emmet in a tough spot. And, then he gets strike one on Clement, then a breaking ball's a little bit higher, and then, the change up to Jimenez was a big hit. And then obviously trying to keep the game close, and Barger hits a hanging slider. So we just didn't make pitches when we needed to keep that game close.
Obviously, Emmet and Anthony specifically, given the state of the pen, are probably going to have big roles to play this series. Is it concerning to see them kind of struggle like they did in that inning right there? Or how do you need them to bounce back?
They need to bounce back. I wouldn't say concerning. I mean, Anthony's been very good for us, and he left a breaking ball up. But, with the construct of the pen, we're going to need them. And so we got a long way to go, a lot of baseball, but they certainly got to make good pitches.
Other questions for Doc? We'll go to Ron up front.
Having done this several times, would you prefer to go straight into it without the week layoff looking back?
Honestly, I really don't think the week layoff had anything to do with tonight. I really don't. We were rested. I thought we were in a good spot. We had a 2-0 lead, and then Varsho hits a homer, and, we didn't pitch well after that. So I really, honestly, Ron, don't think that had anything to do with it.
Go back to Jack.
Just with the offense, what's kind of missing in your guys' inability to turn some of those scoring chances into bigger innings like you were, earlier coming in down the stretch of the regular season?
Yeah, there was just, and I think even, you look back at, last couple of weeks, there's some pivotal at-bats that can flip games that I think that we can be better at. At times I think that the offense looks great as far as building innings, but there's some key at-bats that, you got to win pitches and, use the other side of the field, get a hit, take a walk, whatever it might be. But I think that, we can be better. We need to be better. Gosman, these guys are fired up. They're playing good baseball. So, just 1 through 9, we just got to continue to take good at-bats and play good baseball, then we'll be fine.
Third row on your right, Dice K.
Dave, what did you think of Shohei today? I mean, he hit the home run, but the overall result is kind of mixed. What did you feel?
Yeah, the homer was nice. Hopefully he can kind of build on that one. But yeah, it was, he's going to be all right. Obviously you like him with the bases loaded, and, Savage made a good pitch with the split down below. But, yeah, Shohei's going to be fine.
One or two last ones for Doc. Ron?
You guys had a lot of plate discipline in the early innings against Trey. Was that deliberate going in, knowing just make sure it's in the strike zone, try to let him fall behind?
It was. He lives and dies by that split, certainly versus left, and we really try to stay stubborn in the hitting zone. And, we got to their pin in the 5th inning. So I thought on that side of it, we did a good job, but we just couldn't get that 1 or 2 at-bats to really, create a little bit more distance.
One last one, if there is one. All right, Dave, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
There was Dave Roberts, and yeah, I mean, the big theme there, just not capitalizing on those scoring opportunities. And there was some funky baseball there in the start of that game. In the second inning, you had Springer. He hits one to Freddie. Freddie goes to Snell. They don't get the out at first, but then they're able to go all across the diamond to get Clement at third base, and they capitalize. But then the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, they exchange base running blunders because later you saw Freddie Freeman getting caught up between second and third base, and that could have been a big rally. I really feel like this should have been a 5-0 game at one point, and if you're able to get a lead like that, then the wheels could fall off for a Blue Jays offense that is trying to be a little more desperate at the plate. But to their credit, I mean, every time it felt like the Dodgers had 2 strikes on hitters, the Blue Jays would find a way to make some positive contact, and that's why they're going to have to find a way to miss bats. And one of my biggest keys this series, my third biggest key of this series, was Dodgers pitchers winning in the zone. And tonight they did not win in the zone. I mean, that was something that we had seen from Blake Snell this entire season. And this entire postseason, he had induced 64 swings and misses in over 21 innings in his first 3 postseason starts. Tonight, Blake Snell did not generate a swing and miss until his 28th pitch of the start. And that came in the first inning after he had 2 walks and allowed a ground ball single, load the bases. And then he just left them with a mess there in the 6th inning, where you just do not have it. I mean, you just do not have it in that situation. You go into the 6th inning, you're at 84 pitches, it's a 2-2 tie. And for any fans out there saying, oh, they should have taken Blake Snell out, I was thinking something as far as, hey, he's laboring, he's not as sharp. Do you go to someone else? But if you were thinking about taking Blake Snell out, and yes, he did not record a single out in that 6th inning, he loaded the bases with a walk, a single, and a hit by a pitch. But then Emmet Sheehan comes in, Anthony Banda comes in, and they don't do any better. Sheehan allowing the 2 singles and a walk to score. All 3 inherited runners before him scored before recording out. And Emmet Sheehan, he's only retired 11 of the 22 batters he's faced. Emmet Sheehan has not been good for the Dodgers this postseason. And Blake Snell, I'm sure he'll get another opportunity this postseason. And this World Series is important to him for a million different reasons, and I'm sure that he's going to want to really atone for what was not a good start in Game 1 for Snell. I'm so sick and tired, by the way. I'm so sick and tired of, I mean, I get it. You need a narrative. That's what journalism is all about. I'm so sick and tired of the layoff BS. I just am. Like, no one's going to feel sorry for the Dodgers. No one is. No one is. No one's going to feel sorry for the Dodgers. Oh, the layoff this, the layoff that. The truth of the matter is the bats weren't doing anything even when they did have layoffs, right? The bats have struggled all postseason long. So to blame it to a layoff, I think that's lazy. And oftentimes that's what narratives are. They're lazy. Hey, I got a story, do it this time. Type. There's no layoff situation, okay? Like, I'm so sick and tired of that narrative. But here's Blake Snell after the game talking about what went wrong in his Game 1 start against the Blue Jays.
Just, if you want to go and just kind of share us, what were you seeing as they were navigating through their lineup, how they were able, I know you talked about their bat-to-ball contact, but what were you seeing with them today?
Yeah, I mean, learned a lot. I wasn't locating the ball. I mean, it's pretty simple. Command with the fastball wasn't great. Really changeup, I couldn't locate that either. And then the last inning there, I locate that pitch all the time and then walk Bo, and I know what I can do and get an out there. So just frustrating, but learned a lot. Still confident. I know what I can do. I know who I am. And then a mistake to Varsho, fastball down the middle. Just a tough game, but a lot to learn.
A game like this, is this one that you all just look to flush away and try to move forward, understanding it's a veteran group and you guys are in a position where Game 2 is only tomorrow and you can reset? Yeah, I mean, we're confident. We know how good we are. But, it was a tough game, and then they came out swinging. They had a better game, and, it's 4 games. You got to win 4.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little too strong after the break? I mean, as long as you've gone without throwing this year.
Nah, there's no excuses. I should be ready. Yeah, I wasn't. I got to learn from it, get better, and that's all I'm going to do.
But I mean, I've heard from other pitchers that when they take a break like that in the middle of the season, they kind of lose the feel that they come out and they overthrow a little bit. Is that not a problem for you?
No, I'm not. There's no excuses. I need to be better. I need to throw strikes. I know I can do that. I don't care if it's a month off. Find a way to be ready. Yeah.
Are you surprised at how little they swung out of the zone against you, especially how much you depend on that? Is that just sort of a byproduct of command?
No, yeah, it was more command. They're going to swing. If I'm throwing strikes, they're going to swing. I had a bunch of first pitch outs, first pitch swings. I mean, of all the hits they had the home run, fastball middle, and then Kirk was just putting together good at-bats, fighting stuff, so I got to figure that out. But those were their 2 hard hits, and then outside of that, walks and just getting behind. And, yeah, it's just got to be better, locate the ball, and, yeah, I like what I'll be able to do.
Like, do you feel like you were kind of looking for your changeup today?
I mean, maybe, but if I locate a fastball, it doesn't matter. Yeah, appreciate it.
I was really impressed by what I heard from Blake Snell. I was really impressed by what I heard from Blake. And yes, the last time he had started in the postseason was on October, top of my head, I want to say 15th, which would be 11 days ago. And yes, that is a layoff, but he's not going to use that as an excuse. And he just did not have that fastball command, and he knows to attack these guys. I think where the mistake was made was it's not, yes, those guys are just not going to offer at pitches out of the zone like the Brewers were or even the Phillies were. But still, if his fastball is going to be the key to his success in this series, especially on the upper quadrants on the corners. He needs to land that fastball on the corners, not leave it out over the plate like he did to Dalton Varsho, and that's going to set up the curveball slider and allow him to be effective with the changeup. So it's fastball execution. It's not like the velocity was down at all. It's actually up a tick. So I see, of course, it's the lazy narrative, people trying to make these guys feel good, to give them an excuse, saying that there was this layoff. Cut the crap. It's just boring. It's just not true. I talk to these guys, right? And they will tell you, like, that's not how this works. That isn't, okay? Like, I know last year was more fun. It was much more fun to have a walk-off grand slam from Freddie Freeman to start the World Series. This is going to be a battle. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to if you're a Dodgers fan and this Dodgers team, don't run from the Blue Jays. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. And get ready. This is going to be a heck of a series. And it's going to be a series in contrasting styles. Like I said, what I say heading into this series, it was the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. And the pitching was the immovable object. And the offense for the Blue Jays, which was averaging 6.5 runs per game heading into this one, was the unstoppable force. And today, the unstoppable force moved the immovable object. So they get game one, and the Dodgers pitchers need to be better. They understand that, and they're going to have to find some solutions in the bullpen too, especially with the loss of Alex Vesia, and a guy that they had hoped was going to be one of their big dogs this postseason has not been that so far in Emmet Sheehan. But here's him talking to reporters after the game about his game one performance.
Emmet, we were just talking to Anthony just about that 6th inning. What was it like kind of for you going on the mound? Did it just feel like the moment kind of sped up right there?
No, I felt good going into the game. I felt the same as I have been. Yeah, I thought I made some good pitches and I made some really good swings, and then obviously the walk can't happen. But yeah, it's not a good feeling.
When you look at just this postseason as a whole for you, you've been able to bounce back. Is this one of those you kind of just want to put it behind you, get back on the mound, and kind of turn that page?
Absolutely. It's a long series, so obviously doing whatever I can to put it behind me for sure. It'll sit with me absolutely for the rest of the night, and then hopefully after that I can put it behind me.
The results haven't been quite as good for you in relief. Is there anything about like those short bursts or the sequencing there that kind of has shifted for you that maybe hasn't quite been clicking for you?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been bad.
I mean, you didn't really come out in the middle of an inning before in relief, especially come out in that situation, the bases loaded in the World Series. Like, what type of a challenge was that?
I mean, it's, you're trying to make pitches anytime you come in the game. It's just about executing, and I didn't do a good enough job of that today, and hopefully I'll do a better job next time.
But you know that this team grinds out at bats, make a lot of contact. Seen it up close. How good is this lineup?
Yeah, they were great today, obviously. Yeah, they were great.
So another guy, give him credit, and they realize, hey, you got to flush this. You got to learn from this. It's a 7-game series. It's a best of 7, not a best of 1. Okay, so everyone take a deep breath. Understand that. You can't expect the starters to dominate every single start for the entire postseason, especially when you're going up against a historic offense on the road. We told you how important Game 1 is, but baseball is just weird. You never know. Hey, go ask the Mariners how important Game 1 is. They won both of the games at the Rogers Center in the ALCS, and they still would lose that series. So right now it's all about finding momentum in Game 2 with Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound, having the bats wake up and go to LA with the series split at 1, and then you're going to feel good about your chances once again. But make no mistake about it. I think the offense has been hiding. Behind the elite pitching. And tonight, more than ever, you saw the glaring issue that it is. It's time for the bats to wake the F up. And they're better than they've been. They're talented. They have the ability to do what they need to do to score a ton of runs and just execute better in those situations and have bigger rallies and take better at bats. Tonight, there were some signs. There were some good at bats at times. Kike comes through again. Will Smith. I think Max Muncy had a really good at bat as well. Shohei at the home run. But as a group, this is not the Dodgers offense clicking on all cylinders, and they're going to need to find something if they want to win this series. If they think that they can win this series with the offensive performance that we saw against the Phillies or the Brewers, where you're averaging 3.5 runs per game, that's not going to be the case. This offense needs to step up, or this team is not going to win this series, and Mookie Betts knows that, and here was Mookie Betts after the game.
Emmet, we were just talking to Anthony just about
We got Anthony Banda coming up, too. Dodgers players talking in the 6. Toronto. Here's Mookie Betts.
Mookie, I know this was a frustrating one. We've talked to the bullpen, obviously just kind of not having their best effort executing their pitches tonight. When you look at how just the feeling amongst the group as a whole, kind of how do you guys just put this one behind you and try to turn the page for tomorrow?
Turn the page. I mean, it's one game, and then nothing we can do about it now. It's over with, so we just have to focus on tomorrow.
What were you seeing just from, you got to see quite a few of their arms. How valuable can that be for just the offense?
I mean, I'm sure if you want to make it valuable, then sure. But, I mean, there wasn't that many high-leverage situations and whatnot. I mean, I guess, Dominguez came in, and I forget who else came in early in the game. But, I mean, it's good we get to see him. But, obviously, we'd like to see him in a different situation. But, I mean, it's good to see him.
Do you feel like you guys like been going against the Savage, and how much did that bases loaded situation kind of linger, especially after considering how the game kind of went from there?
Yeah, I mean, I thought so. I mean, we got him out in the 4th or something like that. So yeah, I thought we did pretty good to kind of get to him. But yeah, we just got to cash in those situations, especially against a team like that who's swinging it really well. So I feel like that was a big point in the game that really changed the game.
What are you thinking out there in the 6th inning when it spirals out of control?
Nothing. Just watch it. I mean, I'm watching it the same way y'all are. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's like I said, it's one game, and you just keep it moving.
You guys haven't really clicked offensively the way you had the first couple games against Cincinnati. I know the pitchers have gotten better, but do you make anything of that, or is it just coincidence, or nothing to make of it at all?
I mean, you can make it if you want to make it something, but we're more than capable of scoring 10 or 11 in the game. It's just hard to do in the postseason. Obviously, they just did it, so they've been doing it the whole time, so it may not be hard for them, but for us, we just haven't done it, but we'll figure out a way to win games.
And just to touch more on that 6th inning, like what's going through your mind while you're watching that happen?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just watching it. And kind of is what it is. I mean, nothing I can do about it.
And it doesn't matter, obviously, how many runs you lose by. You have tomorrow, and that gives you a lot of optimism, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow the game starts at 0-0, so just had to play a clean game tomorrow.
During the layoff, did you guys feel, though, just offensively? I mean, you guys were putting together good at-bats, kind of taking walks, passing the baton. Were you feeling that, especially early in this game?
Yeah, I thought we did pretty good offensively. I mean, we had some good at-bats. I mean, obviously, when the game got out of hand, probably changed a little bit. But early in the game, yeah, I think we did a pretty good job against you, Savage, and got him out. But their bullpen did a great job in shutting us down. And that one inning, we had bases loaded. I think that was really the turning point in the game. Even though it's early, every time you get an opportunity like that, if you want to win, you should cash in.
You talk about turning the page, but how do you turn the page from something like this, from the way this one ended today? It works different for everybody. So there's no magic formula to it. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it now. We can't go back and change it, so there's no sense in dwelling on it.
Bro, how short are our memories these days? How short are our memories in the attention span? How will they turn the page? Isn't this the same Dodgers team that got blown out 8-2 against the Phillies in Game 3 of the NLDS when another one of their great starters didn't have a great start? I mean, what are we acting like they lost the series here? What's going through our mind? Everything goes through our mind. All of our senses, touch, smell, hearing, everything's going through our mind in every situation. And the truth is, when people react this way, it's either you're not watching this team the entire year, you're not watching the postseason, or you don't remember recent history. Because when the Dodgers are matched up with a team that has talent, the problem with the Brewers is they just didn't have a lot of guys that would be on the Dodgers, right? But when they go against teams that do have talent with dudes that would be on the Dodgers, they're going to have their clunker in the series. And hopefully for the Dodgers, the Game 3 clunker like they had against the Phillies happened in Game 1 this series. Today, 11-4. In that series, it was 8-2. So how do they turn the page? This team has shown again, they can turn the page. I mean, come on now. And I blame the media for pushing this silly narrative that the Blue Jays were a bad team. They were the 1 seed. They were the top seed in the American League with a historic offense. This is literally, production-wise, the best offense in the postseason since 1995. So I'm glad that this happened tonight. I really am, because I feel like this is a brutal loss score-wise, but I do think that if this leads to some changes, possibly an Andy Pages change, I think it could help this team win this series. But all right, guys, let's hear from Anthony Banda. Then I'm going to open up the comments, and I'm going to go all of your comments, 30 comments, all the super chats. I'm going to go crazy with it. Let's hear from Banda.
Anthony, I know, just frustrating outing tonight. When you go back and what you were seeing, just how you're executing your pitches, what do you think was missing either for you, or how were you saying they were able to attack you?
I just didn't do a very good job of executing. Left the slider up, right in his bat path. Bad pitch, took advantage, and he made me pay for it. So that's kind of what happened.
It's one of those outings you just kind of want to flush it, turn the page, and look to get back on track tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a 7-game series. It's baseball. Anything can really happen, but it's kind of hard to go undefeated. But you got to just flush it, get ready for tomorrow, and just be ready. And when the name's called, just go out and execute.
Not blind to what's been written in the analysis about the bullpen and the weak point of the team. What does a night like tonight do for the confidence out there?
I don't think it affects anything as far as that. It's just we didn't execute. You get put in a situation, you're just trying to find outs. As we go out there and we try to execute, it's something that we just didn't do today. As far as the bullpen, when we do, it's, we're lights out. I still believe that. I still feel the confidence in that. But tonight was just a very bad night.
How would you describe the mood in the clubhouse after that?
It's kind of a rhetorical question. We're not happy, but we understand that it's a 7-game series. It's very hard to go undefeated, and just got to be ready for a good game tomorrow.
Do you think that layoff put a little stop to your momentum?
I just think that, as we come in tomorrow, we're just going to flush it. Just, take one game at a time. And we still got a lot of confidence, a lot of good vibes in there. And, it's just one that, got it really away from us, and just got to flush it.
There was Anthony Banda. So, yeah, I mean, they all have the same mentality and the same mindset, so that's a good thing. Flush it, move on, and get a win in Game 2. All right, let's read your Super Chats. I got a fired up Dodgers Nation. We got some more. We got Victor Banos, $50. Appreciate that. Our offense has to wake up. If not, we're in trouble. Yamamoto with a good outing tomorrow. If Pages continues struggling, give Call a chance. Drew 499, 2001 Lakers lost Game 1, and plus the media pumped up Toronto for ratings. I don't think that's the case. I think they did not pump up Toronto, to be honest. Everyone said that this was going to be a blowout series. People got to believe the Dodgers are going to lose to watch. I disagree with that statement. The media's, I'm in the media. I guarantee the media does not have that kind of power. The players virtually almost don't even pay. I mean, most of the Dodgers players do not pay attention to the media. 199-1 and 11 on the road in World Series Game 1. We've got, did you hear the Blue Jays crowd chanting, "We don't need him" during Ohtani's ABs? Yikes, $5. Yeah, downtown. I have that in my notes here. I did hear the Blue Jays crowd with the "We don't need him." Yeah, you might not need him, but you want him. He hit a bomb, right? And if you're a Blue Jays fan, I guarantee you would love to have Shohei Ohtani. That is a little salt right there. We've got to the sandwich, $4.99. Michael Conforto and Tanner Scott are ready to set the world on fire when Pages and Banda go on the Phantom IL. The bullpens need to find some answers because they really don't have a lot to guys to turn to. And it was a tough night for Banda, a tough night for Emmet Sheehan. And that's why it's so imperative that you get length from your starting pitchers. Ben Meza, Super Chat, $1.99. No offense to Emmet, but he looked like Knack last year in the postseason. Daniel Cesar, $4.99. Appreciate that. Daniel Cesar, yes, the offense plus Penn didn't show up, but we got Yama tomorrow. On a side note, we got to talk about Kim or Dean getting at-bats. Dean had 2 at-bats in the regular season. Paz looks lost in the box, but I do think with all the righties that you see from Toronto, maybe Kim does get an opportunity at some point if Paz continues to struggle. Professor Hamamoto, $5. Dodgers need to play angry. Clayton Ishimoto. We've got D-Mac. The last time the Dodgers faced adversity in a series was last year against the Padres. They went on a tear to win the championship. Let history repeat itself. Let's go, Dodgers. I like the optimism. I appreciate that. I respect that as well. We've got how do you attack Kirk from $4.99. That's from Frank Levin. Yeah, I mean, Alejandro Kirk is an absolute beast. He's a really good pitch framer as well, and he's a dangerous hitter. And he's someone that does not strike out at all. I mean, 95th percentile in strikeout rate this season, and he mashes fastballs. Really, to have success against him, you have to be effective with your breaking stuff because this year is a 308 hitter against fastballs. Off speed, hit 364. You got to hit him with spin. And to hit him with spin, you have to get a hit in the count because you can't spam that early in counts as much against a guy like that. So really the key to getting to Alejandro Kirk is getting count leverage and not falling behind like they did in this one. And that's really the recipe of success for this Dodgers team as a whole. But tonight, if you look at Kirk's at-bats, and two, if I told you that, and this just proves what I was trying to say this whole series, this whole lead up to this series was they're not the Toronto Guerreros. They're not the Toronto Vladdies. That's not who this team is. Tonight, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Vladdy, he ends up going 2 for 4 with the walk. And yes, he's setting things up, but he wasn't the guy that beat you. It was the other guys that beat you, and that's why this loss stings the way it does. But I think with Kirk, what makes him really good, too, is he can draw his walks. He keeps counts alive with foul balls. he's tough, but you got to find a way to beat him with spin because he's not an easy guy to get out. All right, let's do some more here. We've got $5 super chat from Aaron Ramos. Doug, I'm not worried. I got my Game 5 ticket. Yamamoto gets us the split, and we sweep at home for the 5-game finisher. Let's effing go. I'm down for that. I'll sign up for that. I like your thinking. Nico Suave 999. Appreciate that. Don't think there's any super chats. So here, y'all counting that there's actually a ton of super chats, but I appreciate that. So here, all y'all counting them out already. I don't want to see you guys up in here if we end up winning the series. Dodgers in 6. Wake up. Frank Levine 499. Appreciate that. Rewind feed 199. Okay, let's read some more chats here. I want to show you guys some love. I want to hear you guys to all get your chats in here. Give me 1 second so I can. There we go. Pulling up my chat. See Nico Suave. Got more people around here doing their thing. Kirk is a real dog. We are so cooked, chat. Orlando, come on. I don't like George Springer. Yeah, I hate George Springer. Delirium Night, Sai, I haven't given up on our team down 1-0, but it feels almost hopeless. Really, wow. We got Michael Tracy, D-Mac. The problem is twofold. Bats and bullpen, even if the starters do good, one bullpen inning can beat us. Huge hurdle to overcome with BJ's team playing way over their heads. I mean, I told you, the number one key of the series for me was the Dodgers offense stepping up, and you weren't going to be able to win the World Series with the same method of winning series that you've had in the first 3 rounds. The offense needed to show up, and tonight they just did not do enough. And this is a very potent lineup for the Blue Jays, and they're going to make their presence felt. We got true Baja Californian Kirk. What's up? Rojas can deliver tough at bats. Maybe he is the key to the series. The thing about Rojas, yeah, Rojas is a possible option. I think the key to all of this is the thing about Rojas is, I mean, it's the righty-righty situation, right? Not a lot of left-handed pitchers that are going to be great matchup advantages for him. And Edmonds really struggled this season against right-handed pitching. So who knows? I mean, if he did get a swinging bunt today and he had 2 home runs this postseason. So I think it really boils down to, of course, Max Muncy is going to play every single game at third base. He's a lefty going against his righty lineup. He's been really good at the plate lately. Mookie's locked in at short. The only positions for wiggle room are second base and one of the outfield spots, and that would mean, I think, the big question would be, is Tommy Edman comfortable playing center field? Because they're not going to play Kim anywhere else other than second base. And then the same goes for Miguel Rojas. And if you put Miguel Rojas at second base, you would either not have Edman playing at all, which I don't think you're going to go that route unless he's injured, or you're going to move someone off of Andy Pages, and that would be the impetus to do that. So I would explore it. I mean, Andy Pages has not done very much at all this entire postseason. 5 runs is a dream right now. Tokyo Dodgers. I don't like George Springer. Let's do some more here. Luka has 45. Wow, I got to watch that whole game. Luka Doncic. D-Mac, the Dodgers need some coffee. They're cooked and tired out there. Jays showed more scrap. They're grinding. Hollywood greater than signed Pages. What's up, Justin Lamas? Put a fork in Pages. He's done from Larry Dean. Snell, throw a meatball down the middle to Varsho. Yeah, that was a heater that he just grooved right down Broadway. Jays bats will beat LA's aces. Out Tawny. Come on, Bobby D'Elia. Claim out Tawny. That's how we've turned on our glorious king. A game after he hit 3 home runs at 6 scoreless. Oh, wow. You got to be kidding me. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. The big takeaways in this one, bats need to wake up. You need to execute better with runners on base. You can't run into outs like Freddie Freeman did today. You need more slug. You just need to not strike out as much. I mean, the strikeout disparity really told the story in this one. You had 4 strikeouts for the Blue Jays and 13 for the Dodgers. You just cannot have that. Better at-bat quality. It starts with the offense. And then 2, this honeymoon with the starting rotation, I'm not saying it's coming to an end, but we have to be a little realistic about this. You're not going to get 6, 7 scoreless complete games facing the minimum through 8, 10 strikeouts, 6 scoreless every night against a really good offense. So they're going to have to find bullpen guys that can at least get the job done. And I think that this series is falls in the hands of the offense and the bats, and they have to find a way to do it. I mean, that is the biggest takeaway in this one. And then the third big takeaway is we talk about Andy Pages. I do think that Andy Pages, you need to explore the possibility of either giving Alex Call an opportunity, giving a Haesung Kim an opportunity, seeing if Tommy Edman can play anywhere else other than second base with that ankle. I mean, it's the freaking World Series, right? Get that thing shot up or something and just go to a different position. But Andy Pages is the weakest link on offense and is not the entire problem because the top of the order has to do better. Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie combined for 2 hits, and that home run was well after the game was decided. So 2 hits in 11 at-bats from those guys, they'll tell you that they need to do more. The MV3 needs to do better. But tomorrow you got Yamamoto on the mound going up against Gausman. Get the split. Get back to L.A. You win tomorrow with this man on the mound. You're going to feel a lot better. And we will be pre-gaming the show. And also, I've got a hour and 15-minute interview with Puig is my friend, Yasiel Puig, dropping this weekend. Very excited about my exclusive one-on-one interview with Yasiel Puig, where he gives me his plans for the future. Still going to be Dodgers taking this series. All right, guys, that's going to do it. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Even though the Dodgers lost, if you want to support this show, more giveaways, more content, hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. It's just one game. Support this team. They're here to do something that's very difficult to do. That's win back-to-back titles. No one said this was going to be easy. Buckle up. This is going to be a really, really good series. I'm very excited for it. So hit that like button. Also subscribe, join the Discord, join my new channel, the LA Sports Report. We're going to talk Lakers. We'll do some Lakers stuff later. Talk about Luka's performance. It's exciting as well. And more Dodgers talk over there. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. You guys want to do the shout-outs at the end? Here. You guys stay to the end? I'll give you the shout-outs. Ready? Escon, Delirium, Dave, Sel, Virulet, Lucas, Pibbles, Claudia, Gil Ruiz, Ron Fig, Adam, Shabination, Rated R Rombo, Mr. Doctor, Raphael. We've got Bilal K, K-Bass, Carl, the famous El Guapo, GF Family, Mr. Doctor, Professor Hamamoto, AM Sanchez, Flatman, Black Pearl Rider, Pound for Pound 22, Mario Landavere, Mike Host 11, Enrox, Dodgers All Day, Virtua, Flatman, D-Max #1 fan, Mike Host, 17 City Chips, QF Family, Dusty, Jordan Johnson, Cesar 715, Lucas. We've got Jordan Johnson, Sporty Gamer, Vic Shoots, Dan Moreno, Garish Quam, Flatman, Sir Williams. I love all you guys, and thanks for rocking with the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube, Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. Friends call me D-Mac. See you guys tomorrow. It's a new day. The sun will come up, and the Dodgers will get the split because Yamamania is on the mound. Remember, nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.